Thought I would try to show what I do for a functional test on these coil packs after I've tested them on the bench. So the first thing I do is get out of the neighborhood. This is a bit of an uphill. I always kind of hold my breath, shifting from first to second. If anybody's had a coil pack go bad, very often it's that load on the engine, shifting to the next higher gear will sometimes cause that check engine light to come on. So fortunately, the only light I have is my low tire pressure because I got a nail in the front left tire. But anyway, the other question people will ask me, are these cars reliable? They're thinking about buying one. And watch the rest of the video. And this is pretty much what this car does every single day. I don't really go anywhere. I just test coil packs, voltage transformers after I've rebuilt them. So I'll make this a three-phase thing. I usually go about 12 miles one way, so 24-25 mile round trip. And the first test is get it to red line before I get too far from home. In case something's wrong, I can turn around and get back without wasting a bunch of time. So what I like to do is basically bring it to a stop. I don't nail it from a dead stop. Makes it a little easier on the drivetrain to get going. Not to mention the tires and everything else. So kind of hold my breath here, make sure everything's good. 3,000, we'll go ahead and jump it. Here we go. Looking good. Red line second, into third. No check engine light, it's a good sign. So I've got to kind of wind my way through a little bit of a neighborhood, so to speak. Country road with some homes along the side. I don't like to go fast when there's houses around. So anyway, I've got about 3-4 miles to go here, and I'll come back. And then I've got a nice twisty section. It's uphill. It's pedal to the metal, and then off, and then on, then off, and on. It's a real good test on the coil pack to make sure everything is working the way that it should. And then the last section is once I get a little further out, I've got a nice level area. It hits a bridge with a long straightaway. I don't have to worry about deer running out in the road or anything else like that. So stay tuned and we'll finish this coil pack test. It looks like everything's going to be good. Okay, so this is the approach to the second stage. This is a good uphill, lots of corners, so it's on the throttle hard, and then you got to get out of it, and then you get back on it, and if there's any issues with the coil pack at all, it's going to show up here for sure. Here we go. Spun out. Interesting thing with the turbo cars versus the non-aspirated. The turbo, when you let off the accelerator, it keeps going. You can see that traction light. So this thing is cutting loose. The Eurocharged office in Orlando, they did a dyno test on their car, and then they sent their packs to me for a rebuild, and then they put the car back on the dyno, and picked up 30 horsepower just from having good packs in the car. So even just as part of a tune-up, if it's been 50-60,000 miles since I think the coils were replaced, and maybe the car's feeling a little sluggish, can't hurt to swap this stuff out if you're looking for some more horsepower. Okay, so this is the next section. I've got a bridge here. I don't have to worry about deer, anything else. Lights, camera, action. Red line into third gear. I don't really feel the need to go a million miles an hour here, but that's a pretty good test. There's a red line in third gear. Bump it up into fifth. So between those three tests basically, and then I'll turn around and just kind of drive back home at a normal pace. But every coil pack that gets tested goes through that drill. So it's been up to temperature, it's seen red line 5-6 times at a minimum. This is a nice big area to turn around. There you've got it.